Hey everyone, welcome back to Trail Talks, the podcast where we talk about growth, the messy, the beautiful, and everything in between. I'm your host, Kelly Kruger, founder of Kelly Michelle Coaching, where we focus on mindset, emotional intelligence, and leadership, all grounded in real life and real science. And joining me is my co-host and partner in growth, founder of Leading People LLC, Kristin Neff, a leadership trainer and facilitator who brings insight, curiosity, and real-world perspective to every episode. So wherever you're listening from today, we're glad you're here, and thank you for joining us on the trail. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Trail Talks. We are back. The girls
Finally.
are back in town. The girls are back in town.
Finally, we took a little break, huh?
We did. We needed it. It's okay. We needed to take a knee, and we are back, and we are talking about love and self-love and how important it is. So we have top 3 lies about love and top 3 truths about love. And this is about self-love. Are we ready to get started, Tara?
Yeah, let's go.
Yay!
I love self-love.
All right, we are going to hop right into it. So the top 3 lies we believe about love. Number 1, love comes from outside of me. So that's when we're conditioned to believe when someone chooses me, I'll feel worthy. When someone loves me, I'll feel complete.
Ugh. I hate
That is
that.
relying on external validation to feel love. And there was that TED Talk or on YouTube that I sent you. It was Peter Sage.
Yes,
Did you watch that? That
I
was
did.
one of the best TED Talks I have seen. And it's titled for the listeners because I encourage you guys to watch it. Most of it has to do with this episode. Let me get the title of it. So it's Peter Sage, and I think it's called How to Eliminate Self-Doubt Forever. So good. And one question he asked in there, very powerful, or a very powerful statement, is nobody can ever love us more than we love ourselves.
Yes. Because the external things are equal instability, really. Those are things that can be taken away from you. And I always have this conversation. People and things come and go
Yeah.
throughout your life. That's just what it is. Or they're just unstable within itself. So we talked about before, you can't depict what other people do. It's out of your control. You can't depict people that are coming in and out of your life. Sometimes that's out of your control as well. But how you act and what you do is completely in your control. So all you can do is love from within and love who you are in every little thing about yourself.
Yeah. Crocker and Wolf had this 2001 theory. It's the contingencies of self-worth that explains, I'm just going to read some of my notes, that explains many of us base our self-esteem on specific conditions. So things that are outside of us: achievement, approval from others, appearance, relationships, or moral behavior. In other words, our sense of worth becomes contingent on how well we perform in certain areas. When we succeed, we feel valuable. When we fail or face criticism, our self-worth drops. So this ties to our worth to external validation, and it makes us emotionally reactive. When we win, we ride the highs. When we lose, we crash. And over time, it can create anxiety, perfectionism, people pleasing, and fear of failure. And some of that, if you recall, I forgot what episode it was. Maybe it was 3 or 4 when we talked about limiting beliefs. And some of that has to do with how we were raised, like what we saw as children. In that TED Talks, Peter Sage talks about how, I think it's age 6 or 7, when you start, I guess, forming those patterns and beliefs depending on the perception that 6 or 7-year-old has of the love they didn't get or the love that they got from the people that love them the most, or the people they think that should love them the most. And that's when we're 7 years old and we start forming these patterns and limiting beliefs about ourselves and what we're worth and what how we're valued. It was very interesting.
Yeah. It also reminds me of, retired Chief Kelly, but remember her whole
Yeah.
story, she was 5 years old and she was like she felt like she wasn't worthy of certain things
Mhm.
because of she felt when she was locked in that shed, and then how they ran to her younger brother. So she formed these limiting beliefs or her worth and her self-worth at about the same age as what he said, about 6 or 7, right?
Yeah.
And it carried on with her throughout her adulthood, and she had to really work on that, but your self-esteem can't depend on, like, approval or appearance, achievement even. I had a problem with that, like, I was always achieving things. Like, don't get me wrong, I did it, but I felt like I had to, like, "What's next? What's next? What's next?" And it's like, "Girl, don't forget how far you've come and accept what you have," right? Because even in a relationship, and I've spoken to a couple of married couples, and they're like, "Yeah, my partner it doesn't matter how I feel about my partner, how pretty I think she is, how handsome he is, how great of a person he is. If they feel otherwise, I can't fix that. It has to come from within. People can't fix that. Outside things can't fix that."
Yeah, that Peter Sage said something about that too. Very powerful statement. Um, I think it's the number one law of personal growth that people will never rise above the opinion of themselves. Like, people will
Yeah.
never rise above the opinions of themselves.
Yeah. We are our hardest critics. I mean, we know that. We're the worst. Like, you'll forgive and forgive and forgive other people, and you will accept who they are and what they've done and all these things. But when it comes to yourself, it's like, why can't you do the same thing and give yourself that same grace?
So when we talk about, as kids, if we did experience abandonment, neglect, or inconsistent love as a child, then that's where we would start tying our self-worth to performance or approval later in life, and it's going to show up in in our adult life. Because if love was withdrawn, inconsistent, or conditional, then the child is thinking, I must earn love, I must perform to stay safe. But here the key is, to a child, like, love equals survival. The nervous
Mhm.
system wires itself around staying connected at all costs. So in adulthood, it's going to show up as people pleasing, perfectionism, fear of rejection. Oh my God, we're going to talk about rejection in a minute. Overachievement, emotional reactivity to criticism. And that's not, I mean, it's not saying that we're weak. It's just we adapted to what we were exposed to. And until we identify that pattern and those limiting beliefs and how it's affected our lives. So if your nervous system learned early that love was unstable, your identity can revolve around earning safety through achievement, appearance, and approval. So then we want to rewire those survival patterns. And then, we have neuroplasticity that tells us the brain can change. Secure attachment can be built, stable identity can be built, and then you can choose something healthier.
Yeah. It all goes back to CTFAR, choosing
It it
and making decisions.
it
It really
does.
does.
It does.
Yeah.
So doing some research for this episode, I don't know if it was in your notes, but there was in 2003, researcher Naomi Eisenberger at UCLA did a groundbreaking study on social rejection. Participants played a simple virtual ball tossing game called Cyberball. At first, the other players included them. Then suddenly they stopped throwing the ball to them. They were excluded. While this was happening, researchers scanned their brains using fMRI. The same region that lights up during physical pain, the same region of the brain that lights up during physical pain, it's one of the cortexes, the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex. It lit up during the social rejection when they were excluded.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
So your brain processes social exclusion using the same circuitry as physical pain when we feel physical pain. So rejection, then we feel the physical pain. Imagine like when I heard that, I automatically thought about like high school students with
Yeah.
cyberbullying and like all of
Yeah.
that. And I'm like, holy cow, like this has really affected children, adults, suicide,
I was just gonna say that.
relationships. When we talk about relationships and
Mhm.
breakups, I mean that we take that as rejection and immediately we feel physical pain.
Yeah.
And unless we know that you can survive it, like you can survive disapproval, you can survive someone not choosing you, you can survive not being perfect. And when you really internalize that, then your worth is going to stop swinging with every single thing that happens to you. It's you are inherently worthy because you are human. It's crazy.
Like we talk about suicide prevention and I teach some of the classes and one of the top reasons we know that people commit suicide is lack of connection. And they don't mean like
Yeah.
relationships. It's like you didn't invite this person to lunch. You excluded this person some way or another. And by you saying that and giving that, that research, it puts things into perspective in the same way that it puts things into perspective that how change is the same. You go through the same cycle as if someone were to pass away, right? So it kind of like puts it into perspective, like, okay, this is not just like, oh, you hurt my feelings. Like this is some type of physical pain that your brain is telling you should be having. That is crazy.
Yeah, and
That is
I'm
crazy.
sure the thought is I'm not worthy and that they feel that physical pain and then what are their actions or inactions based on the pain going back to CBT and the model. It's now what happens with that individual that feels that pain and doesn't know otherwise that it's just temporary and you're worthy and you're valued. But it makes
I
sense
mean,
because also they talk about like from an evolutionary standpoint thousands of years ago, being excluded from the tribe meant death.
okay.
So our brains evolved to treat social rejection as like a survival threat.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, but I mean, and we know it. I know, like that blew my mind, but it also should really not have been that. It shouldn't have blew my mind as much as it did because we know that a thought creates a feeling, and sometimes that feeling can be like anxiety, which can make your heart beat super fast. We know that a thought can create certain things, but I guess I just never related rejection to physical pain.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Is
we
your
all feel
thought?
it and we all
Yeah,
feel it different.
yeah.
Yeah, my mind was blown when I heard that. So that's our first lie there is love comes from outside of me. That is your first lie. So it's got to come from inside of you. Nobody's going to ever love you more than you love yourself and people will never rise above the opinions of themselves.
All right. You want to go to lie number two?
Okay, line number 2. Lie number 2.
I've had nothing
Oh,
else.
this
My mind is still thinking about the research
It
you just
I'm telling you, I actually shared it with a
physical
class.
pain.
I shared it with a class last week because we when we talk about, strategic thinking and decision making, a few competencies that you want to have when you wanna make group decisions and strategically think is intellectual flexibility.
Oh,
It's understanding that things can change and how flexible are you willing to be to be open to other perspectives. And then another one was intellectual humility, which, hey, I don't know everything.
mm,
If I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm in the wrong room.
wrong room. Yep.
Um, and then the third is intellectual inclusion. And that
Mm,
is getting the right people in the room that maybe don't think the same as you.
mhm.
Um, so yeah, and then we talked about inclusion a little bit. And that led to me sharing about the social rejection and the physical pain, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, lie
All right.
number 2 is if I love myself, I am selfish.
That's that's one of the most damaging beliefs.
Yes.
Because why are you selfish for loving yourself? You can love everyone else, right? Yeah. Well, one of the
Yeah,
things
go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. Me? Okay, fine. No, one of the things we were talking about before was about the ego, right?
Mhm.
And you said that will probably fall in line with feeling like you're being selfish. It's your ego talking. So one of the things that I researched was like there's ego-based self-love and there's spirit-based self-love. So the former cares about what the ego cares about. So like your appearances, power, survival. The other one cares about what the spirit cares about, healing, wholeness, and love. So your ego, I think, comes into play when you think that you're being selfish for loving yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. What was the spirit? What was the spirit one?
The spirit is spirit-based self-love, cares about what the spirit cares about. So healing,
Yeah.
wholeness, and love in general. So it's again not those outside factors that your ego makes you think you should have, but things that are within.
That lines up with the psychologist Christine Neff in
Mhm.
2003 came up with the concept of self-compassion into mainstream psychological research. She defined self-compassion into three parts. The first is self-kindness. So that's like not being ashamed of yourself and just speaking to yourself with care instead of criticism. Uh-huh.
Positive
Ellie,
affirmation.
listen to that.
Yeah.
Be nice to yourself. The second one is common humanity, recognizing that suffering and imperfection are a part of being human. And the third is, let me get it here, mindfulness, noticing your pain without exaggerating it or suppressing it. Self compassion is not self esteem. Self esteem says, I'm valuable because I'm better, successful, attractive, and accomplished. Self compassion is, I'm valuable because I'm human and I'm not perfect. And that is okay. And when people understand self compassion and they treat themselves with self compassion, they're less anxious, they're less depressed, they're less perfectionistic, they're more
Mhm.
resilient, they're more motivated, they have that intrinsic motivation. So when you aren't wasting energy beating yourself up, you have more energy to grow.
Yeah, so for I have an example that I have written down here. Is like before I found self-love, I used to be a lot more critical of myself. For example, I hated how this is not me, I'm not that sensitive. This is just an example. If you're looking at me like, what the heck? For example, I hated how sensitive I was because my sensitivity caused me to experience depression,
Mm,
anxiety, and panic attacks. This sensitive nature made me feel stupid, worthless, and weak. So the thought, the feeling, right? But when I began to love myself, I began to look at the positive side of my sensitivity, that it gave me the ability to understand things on a deeper level and to create meaningful art that touches the hearts of others.
yeah,
Again, changing your thought process.
that is so powerful. It really is. Like, it's emotional depth and emotional maturity. When you understand why you're feeling the way you are and how it's leading to what you're doing and the results that you're trying to achieve. I think going deep like that is, it shows that you are emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, I think, I mean, just you have to embrace what God gave you.
Yeah.
If you're sensitive in nature, okay, you're sensitive in nature. How can you use it to your benefit? You know what I mean? Like, if this is who you
Then you're
are,
probably an empath.
yeah, exactly. Yes. I think that a lot of times that's what we forget to do is just kind of embrace our situation or just embrace who we are. I'm so critical, like we were talking about, and just hard on ourselves that we forget that it's okay to be emotional or hardcore, even whatever it is. Everyone has some type of positivity out of whoever and however they are.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to always be a negative thing.
Yeah, if you can't extend compassion inward, then eventually resentment leaks outward. And that's why loving yourself first doesn't diminish your capacity to love others, it stabilizes it. Such a good one.
Yeah, it kinda also refers you back to, like, leadership when we talked about before. You gotta lead yourself before you can lead others.
Yeah.
Self-leadership is a thing.
It's
You
oh
have
my
to
god,
be
it's number 1.
yeah, and it's this is the same concept.
I always say you can't or John Maxwell, you can't give what you don't have.
Yeah, exactly.
And in this case, also, you cannot sustainably give what you refuse to receive. All right, line number 3. Do you have anything else for 2?
Yeah.
Line number 3. I'll love myself when I fix myself.
Ugh,
When I lose the weight, when I stop messing up, when I get more disciplined, when I heal, when I build better habits, then I can love myself. Ugh.
no, I don't know, I've lost the weight
Shame.
before.
That's shame.
That is shame, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, shame says fix yourself, then you can belong. But belonging is actually what allows the healing to take place. Brené Brown talked about it in her Daring Greatly book. She defines shame as the intensely painful belief that I'm flawed, therefore I am unworthy of love and belonging.
Yeah,
Not like we should be saying, I made the mistake, not I am the mistake. And shame is I am the mistake.
wow.
And when you feel shame, just like those indulgent emotions that we talk about several episodes when we talk about indulgent emotions and those are worry and doubt and overwhelm and shame is one of those. Shame will never serve you well.
Yeah. Perfectionism is not self-love, right?
Mhm.
So, fixing yourself we talked about it before, I used to battle perfectionism, and
Yeah.
I'm here in living proof, showing you on my tired face that I am not worried about the perfectionism. There's no filter. Everything is imperfect in this.
Because
Like
everything
I
is gonna be okay.
everything is fine, and it has been. Okay, I get it. Trust me, I it's something I work on, guys. So don't feel shameful for feeling like things have to be perfect either. But perfectionism is not self love whatsoever.
Yeah, it's all a part of growth. Lessons learned, failing forward.
Mm. Feeling forward. I love that saying.
If you believe I'm broken and need fixing, your actions come from shame. But if you begin to see yourself as someone worthy of care, discipline, and growth, then your habits will start to align with the identity. You will build better habits when you start learning and believing that you are worthy.
I like that.
You'll you'll start taking steps forward. Like our nervous system is hardwired to keep us like safe and comfortable, but I think that Peter Sage said it, but our essence of who we are is wired for growth. And we're always battling between the what we're hardwired for here, which is the comfort, and then also, oh God, but I gotta go there, but oh God, it might be dangerous. We're
Mhm.
always battling that.
It also takes me back to our goals episode when we talk about making goals and aligning.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. It's like, why can't we align those concepts that we seem to retain easier and understand easier with our self-love type of goals? You know what I mean? Like you said, it once you start feeling like you're worthy, you'll change your habits. When you want something, a goal, when you want to meet something, all of a sudden it's easier for you to change your habits.
Yeah.
Why is that? Like, why can't we align those same concepts with self-love?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What are that was 3, right?
Yep.
I love myself when I fix myself. Let's move on to the truths, the top
All
truths.
right.
Truth number
Let's do it.
1. What self-love actually is, it's self-love is identity anchoring. This goes back to like emotional intelligence. one of the EQI 2.0 realms is it all starts with how you think about yourself.
Mhm.
The self referential processing. So two of the, I think the first one is self-regard, how you view yourself. And then the second one is self-actualization, and that is how you're growing and setting goals. So that kind of aligns with the identity anchoring. It's how we think about ourselves and what makes us us.
Yeah. And I don't want to go down a rabbit hole because you know how I feel about self love and identity and how people identify. We
Yeah.
identify as things that are outside. Okay. And moms, don't kill me. But I'm not just, when you ask me who I am, I'm not going to identify as Sir's mother. That's not going to be the first thing out of my mouth. Like, yes, that is a part of me. Yes, I'm his mother. That is not who I am and only what I am. And I think, or you identify as your job. You identify as an airman in the military. That's a part of you. That's not who you are, because when you're stripped of all of that, your kid, you're empty nesting, your kid's long gone, you did a great job, they're in college. When you're stripped of that uniform, when you're stripped of that job, you retired. Who are you? What do you like to do? And I'll never forget being at First Sergeant Academy. And they asked that question and they said, "You are not allowed to identify as a parent, as an
Yeah.
airman, or anything that you do in life. Who are you?" And people could not answer that question.
It's very tough.
Me, I had already thought about it and
The
I was ready. I was ready because
yeah, I mean,
I have strong feelings about that.
there's probably a disconnect there. You know, I know I was probably there for many years.
Yeah.
Um,
Not saying I haven't been victim of it, but I have
yeah,
grown. I
yeah,
yeah,
you probably had time with yourself to really think about,
I did.
especially and also as a mom though, because life changes when you're a parent and you have children, and it's now are my values still aligned as a parent? And there's a part of the military Sherpa assessments that you do the five voices, you do the communication code. Another one is the peace index, and kind of like peace in your life, the people around you, um, how you live, where you live, the things that you have, all of that really shows what you value.
Yes.
It does. And
Mm.
it's just so interesting. Like, even me, when it was last year and I'm realizing like, holy cow, I really need to strengthen my anchors, post divorce, and kind of resetting myself a little bit. And then also feeling like, okay, I now I'm understanding where I'm going. It was just really, what do I want peace to look like? What do I value?
Yeah, and you have to be careful about societal norms, generational judgments. And I'll just put it that way, generational judgments from different generations and how you live, because it reminds me of Shaquila. That's her name, right? Shaquila. Yeah. And her husband, and she was saying how her going backwards, quote unquote, people were judging her for that. People were, all the things. And she's like, I had to remind myself who I am,
Yeah.
what I want, and what I want peace to look like. Well, however, she fanned that statement. And it was basically all the noise was gone. This is what I'm going to do. This is who I am. And she was her anchors. She wasn't budged from it. And it put her in a good place. I mean, you have to stick true to who you are, because you're going to go to work and be someone different. You're going to come home and be someone different if you don't know who you are and you don't stick to that true self identity.
Yeah, that's
You know,
all the identity, and it's all in alignment with who you are, with what you value. And if
yeah,
anything is out of alignment, you feel it.
yeah, yep,
If you are connected.
yeah. I really do try to strengthen my anchors and stick true to who I am and what I want. I know that 3 times a year I need to travel somewhere, at
Yeah.
least, maybe more. That's how I reset. I enjoy experiences. And then I realized, okay, I don't really have to leave the country to get those experiences. I can just go places I've never been in the United States. There's been a lot of places, right? But I enjoy experiences. That's just what it is. So I'm going to make it a priority for me to have those experiences in one way or another, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
But anywho,
Well, I love the Buffalo Bills. So my life revolves around
nothing is wrong with that.
revolves around the Buffalo. I mean, it is though.
Except for when they
It's
lose.
I mid conversation today, my colleague, we're talking about a lesson plan, and mid conversation, I'm like, "Oh, the Bills got DJ Moore." He's like, or I said, "We got DJ Moore." He's like, "Who is that? A colonel or what?" And I was like, "No, the Bills." He goes, "Where did that come from?"
And the
I'm like, "It's my
notification
life."
pops on your phone. You're like, I know anytime with you, anything Buffalo Bills, I want to send you a picture. There was a girl at the bar, at the restaurant bar. It's a restaurant, but she had a full blown Buffalo Bills outfit on. I was like,
Yeah.
I want to take a picture of this lady and send it to Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
We are so proud. That's our
Yeah.
life. We are so proud. Anyway,
Loud and proud. That's for
um,
sure.
yeah, so self-love is identity anchoring. Who are you? Strengthen your anchors. You'll feel more worthy, more valued.
Yeah.
Let's see. Truth number 2 is self-love is emotional regulation. And we've been talking about that. It's really emotional intelligence.
Yeah. I like how it says you will try to control other people to feel safe. If you cannot sit with your own discomfort,
Oh,
you
yes.
will try to control other people to feel safe.
Yeah.
There's no emotional regulation in that. Like, but I can imagine that's what people do, but I
Because
don't.
you can't change people.
You can't.
You can't change them. So it's that's when you have to do that inner work and find out why you feel the way you do.
Yeah.
Like where is that coming from? How can you change it and build new neural pathways, and it's you can't change people, so it's your discomfort, but there's a reason for the discomfort.
Yeah. And I know we're talking about self love and loving ourselves, whatever. Obviously, like we said, like leadership, lead yourself so you can lead others, love yourself so you can love others. But that just reminds me of like being in a relationship. Like, I always make the joke and I say, excuse me for cursing a little bit, but I just say, you have to accept people for who they are.
Yeah.
Everyone has their shit. Whose shit can you deal with?
Yeah.
That's just what it is. You're not going to change their shit. This is who they are. And that is
You can
quote of
set
the day from
boundaries,
Tara.
which is number 3. But yeah, no,
Oh, look at that.
you can't change anybody. It's
Yeah.
sitting with the discomfort. I like how it says in here, we mistake intensity for intimacy, we confuse anxiety for connection, we cling for
Oh my
regulation,
God.
but healthy love is not two dysregulated nervous systems it's two regulated nervous systems choosing each other, and that is you individually mastering the game of self. That's really what it is, and
Yes.
that is the toughest game in life.
Yes.
it's mastering
Yes.
it's mastering it's mastering yourself.
Yes. And you would think it wouldn't be that difficult if you could like I am a master of
Well,
people.
it
Like,
it's not, it just depends on how often we are consciously making decisions every single minute of the day. Like
yeah.
versus what we've said in previous episodes, the autopilot default mode. That plays a
Yeah.
huge part of this. Is 80% of our day we're probably in autopilot, that default mode network, and only maybe 20%, and I'm getting those numbers wrong, but it's a very, very big difference where we are consciously doing things and moving in a direction. We are critically thinking, we are solving problems, we are making decisions, having meaningful conversations, all of those.
Yeah. But I don't feel like it's as much energy being taken from me in my experience, by doing those
Right.
things as much
Yeah.
as it is allowing somebody to irritate me or ruin my day or
Yeah.
allowing a situation to bring me into that second emotion, which is anger or anxiety or whatever it is. I feel like that drains you more than making conscious decisions
It does,
on,
yes.
yeah, X.
Yeah, so how can you really master self if you are on in default mode or autopilot? Because you're really not, because you're not maybe actively doing things with intention. Things aren't
Yes.
intentional.
Yeah, and it brings us back to our time blocking and that, what is it, hour one of Monday, and intentionally creating your time blocking schedule. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you that saves a lot of energy for me throughout the week.
Yeah.
Because I'll forget to do my meditation. I'll forget to or don't feel like getting up to work out because I wasted so much, I don't know, other energy doing other things instead of sticking to my time block schedule that I made.
Yeah. It's
You
building
can't
building
predict
better
everything,
habits.
but
It's
yeah.
building better habits. It's just like Peter Sage said, it's getting rid of the stuff that shouldn't be in you
Mhm.
and getting better things inside you. What are you consuming? What are you watching? What are you listening to? Because mainstream media is out there to trigger your amygdala. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yep.
So what are we choosing to do? And environment is going to trump will. He said that too, and that was very profound. Environment
Mhm.
will always trump will. It doesn't matter what your intent is and how motivated you feel. It's what is around you and who is around you. What
Absolutely.
what does your inner circle look like?
Yeah.
Because if
You know,
if
there's
you're around people that speak negative and you continue to be around them, you're going to be toxic.
yeah, because like we said, your subconscious brain is, it can't help but to remember it and keep it, stores everything.
If you're hanging out with 8 smokers, more than likely you're gonna end up smoking. If you
Yeah,
hang
maybe.
out yeah, if I mean, it's
Yeah.
it it's who are you surrounding yourself with? What does your environment look like? Because it's always gonna trump your motivation and your will.
Yeah, and
So
I
getting
there's a net there I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
There's a Netflix show out there, and I cannot remember what it's called, but it's like different segments of showing you things. If I can remember, I'll put it in, when we post it, but basically, it was showing how this media triggers your can I say amygdala, right? And it was like a depiction of people behind these screens for each person in their phone, and it would be like, "Oh, they like this. Let's show them more of that. Oh my gosh, such and such hasn't touched his phone today. Let's make this girl that he liked her picture an hour ago pop up on his notifications." And sure enough, he goes and picks up his phone and he looks at it because that girl popped up. He's like, "Oh my gosh, this person hasn't touched this social media in a while. Let's make a notification show up." And it was just like they were the point was that they were purposely creating your algorithm. They were
Yeah.
purposely triggering your, I can't say the damn word. Admit
What? Amygdala?
amygdala.
My god, what were you trying to say? You just what? You just said it a minute ago.
I got to talking too fast and I couldn't
Oh
say
my
it.
god.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, my point is that they showed a live depiction of how they trigger your amygdala and how they purposely create your algorithm
Yeah.
and how they know what you liked 10 days ago and they will bring it up again a
Yeah.
month later on purpose.
It's
So yeah.
it's wild. It's all about getting your attention.
Me.
And most of it, especially coming from the news, is going to be more negative.
Mm.
I mean, so it's and that's what I also say about environment. It's be mindful what you're putting in, not like putting in your body, of course, like food, nutrition, but also what information are you putting in your body? What are you reading? What are you listening to? And if you are attending growth classes and listening to podcasts and reading, leadership books and all that, well, that's great. But you also need to apply that and practice it and build those habits because it's going to be very easy to go back into the default mode and go back into that autopilot and very quickly fall back into algorithms and
Yeah.
those not so great habits. Yeah, so interesting. All right, so self number 3 truth about self-love is boundaried love, and we talked about that. We talked about that last week, and that was also about your values, your integrity, what you're aligned with. Yeah, what else with that one?
So when you say boundaried love, though, if we're talking about self love, oh yeah, because
Yeah, because
last week we
that
did.
because yeah. It
Last week we talked about how creating boundaries within your relationship is self love.
mhm.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm tracking now. Yeah, we did talk about that and
That
how
and that
if you
comes from number 1, which was the identity anchoring, number 2, which is the emotional intelligence, and now it's understanding when you understand your identity and you build your anchors, and then you have the emotional intelligence, understanding why you feel a certain way, why things are like this, then it's okay, now you can have boundaried love. That makes more
yeah
sense, I guess.
yeah that does yeah
This
because
works
if you
for
don't
me.
have
This works for me. This doesn't work for me. I care about you. And also, I care about me. You're not losing yourself.
yeah the XYZ method that we
Yeah.
talked about last week. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just you not losing yourself. It's caring about somebody else and also caring about you. And that is okay. It's that secure attachment. It's not selfish. It's regulated, it's clear, it's boundaried. And that's what creates safety, not dependency.
Yeah, and plus you have to have 1 and 2 to make 3
Mm-hmm.
out of the choice because you don't wanna set toxic boundaries or really fall into toxicity when you're trying to set a boundary, but you can't set a
Yeah.
boundary if you don't understand identity, self-love, anchoring, all the things that we just talked about.
Yep.
Yep. You ready for a detour?
Let's do it. Detour.
Let's do a detour.
Oh, I got the detour.
You got the
You're like looking at me. I'm like, what? All right. We are just doing, for the listeners, we're just doing these talking points, conversations with purpose. I do these with my son sometimes. They have a kids version. And then I'm doing the family one, which is like a fun and random kind of topic. Let's see. Would you rather be able to fly or turn invisible? So that's a would you rather.
um, turn invisible. I don't know why.
Yeah. Why?
Maybe because you can fly on a plane. I don't know. Hmm.
Oh. If I could go fast, like super fast, I would wanna be able to fly.
Yeah. I don't know, I just keep thinking about that, old school show where she used to melt down, turn invisible, and, like, slither along. I can't think of what her name is, but there was like, a Nickelodeon show or something about it, and I think that's
Mm,
why I chose that. It's like childhood.
yeah. What's one special talent you would like to have or you wish you had?
Ah, I wish I could sing.
Me too!
You
Oh my
wouldn't be
god!
able to stop me if I could sing.
I wanna be Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
I wish I could sing.
Yeah, sing and play the piano, I wouldn't you wouldn't be able to stop me. I would have conversations in song.
Look, okay, so let's be real. You can learn to play the piano. I don't know if you can learn to have a great voice, but you can
Yeah.
learn to play the piano. Make that a goal.
Yeah, it's still a talent though, but yeah, singing would be the top.
Yes. I remember when I was, like, in elementary school, and I would be in the choir, in the chorus, and it would be, "Oh, Kelly, you're the alto." Like the, "Oh, oh." I hated that. I'm like, "I wanna be up front, and I wanna sing."
I want the microphone.
Yeah. So I guess, like, we don't sing, we talk, like,
Is that I don't know,
this
I
is
consider it singing, but just not singing well.
that's the thing is some people play instruments, some people play sports. Tara and I speak. I don't know.
Yeah, we
Or we
good. There
try,
we go.
or we try.
Yeah,
Oh my god, it's so funny, we both wanna sing. Oh, I wish I had a great voice. I'd be
me
singing all
too.
the time.
Because I already sing all the time.
Yeah.
It would be worse. I would be at every karaoke. My
Yes.
mom just sent my son a karaoke machine. It's like this big old speaker with these 2 microphones. It's legit. Ugh, hearing him on that, God bless him.
Oh, yeah.
But hearing us both has to be terrible.
Jordan is the same way. He sings all the time, and he's got the worst voice. He better not listen to this episode. I can't have him listen to this episode. He's got the worst
I
voice.
love you anyway, sweetie.
Oh, I love you, bud. I love you, bud. Oh god. Oh, if you could speak another language, which would you choose?
I know what yours is.
I know. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yours is Italian, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It probably I don't know, I think I just wanna speak Spanish, and I
Yeah,
mean, I would love to speak Spanish
yeah.
fluently. To speak Spanglish
Sp-
now.
yeah, Spanish would definitely be up there for me too. Oh gosh, this is interesting. Which of your five senses would you be saddest to lose? Oh God.
I can't pick. I don't lose any of them. Well, I lost this, being able to smell before because of COVID.
Yeah, me too. And taste.
And
That
that
was
was terrible.
horrible. Thanksgiving. How did I not taste or smell anything on Thanksgiving? Yeah,
I
okay.
think
So we've
maybe
been there, done that with
so
the
we can't pick that one. Maybe hearing?
Mm.
Can you imagine not being able to be a part of the conversation?
Yeah, mine would be sight. Well, you already answered this one. Which musical instrument would be coolest to play? I agree with you. I would love to play the piano.
Yeah. I love piano. My favorite instrument is the saxophone, but I don't think I wanna play it. You gotta wet the reed and all that nasty
Yeah.
stuff. But the piano, yeah. Is it reed on saxophone? I don't know. Either way, spit. Mm-mm.
This is funny. Would you rather be funnier, smarter, or more athletic? You're all three.
I know, that's what I'm saying, like,
I'm kind of all three too.
you are all 3.
All right, so we're good there. We're good there.
What if you had to pick? I think I'd rather be funnier. Pretty athletic.
I think I'm pretty funny, so I don't need to be funnier, and I'm pretty athletic. I would want to be smarter.
No, I wanna be funnier. I'm funny, but can you imagine just all day belly laughing?
Oh
Like,
yeah, that'd be great.
be in trouble though.
Okay, I'll do one more. Do you have tattoos?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, if you get a new tattoo, what would it be of?
Something around revolving around my son, because I've been saying that for 5 years and haven't done it.
Do it.
I'm particular about where I place them because I don't wanna, like,
Yeah.
get huge one day, get pregnant. Oh, that ain't gonna happen, but I'm just saying, like, I just don't want, like, it to be all weird. I don't know. I'm worried about the placement, so I've been thinking for 5 years.
Yeah. Do it.
Damn, pick another one.
I would get a Buffalo Bills tattoo.
Do you
And
have any?
and what?
You have tattoos, right?
Yeah,
No?
yeah.
Oh,
I would get a Buffalo Bills tattoo, and like you, I've been talking about it for years, and because I don't know where to put it.
exactly. You definitely should do it. I'm surprised you don't have one already.
I know. That's probably why they haven't won the Super Bowl.
As soon as
I
you
should
tat
do
them.
it. I should do it.
Yep.
It's all lining up. All right. Did I say that was the last one? Let's do last one. This one is a food one, but I don't know if I want to do that one. Which TV show would you pick to live inside for a week?
Even watch TV. I don't know. I'm just gonna say the first thing that came to my head, and I do not know why. The Golden Girls.
Oh my God. What? You would be so bored.
It just came to mind. It was the first thing that came to mind was the Golden Girls, and I don't know why. I don't watch TV though. Let me think of another. What about you? You go first while I think.
It would definitely have to be one of the Real Housewives. Oh yeah, that would be awesome. Probably like Salt Lake City, maybe. I don't know. I don't
That's a
know the
reality
I
show.
don't know the location, but I think definitely one of the Real Housewives because they like live glamorous and all the drama and just 1 week, let me do it.
Oh, I hate reality TV. Literally hate it.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I don't
I think with HGTV, like one of them shows. And then I can go around
Oh
and
yeah.
pretend to buy these houses and fix them up and flip them. And oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Not the Golden Girls. I was joking. But it was the first thing that came to my mind. Don't know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, I guess I'd want something just totally out there, but in a good location. I loved Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. That was probably one of my favorites, and Atlanta, but been there, done that. So
Live down the
I mean,
street.
I've been, yeah, it's like right there. Um, all right, let's hop back on the trail. Let's talk
All right.
tools. What do we want to do for tools?
Let's see.
I definitely think like looking at emotional intelligence when we talk about all of this, you
Hmm.
can wrap it up with emotional intelligence and maybe even taking even a free emotional intelligence assessment and seeing
Hmm.
where you kind of land in the different competencies. And it's going to fluctuate, right? It's not like a personality test where your personality doesn't change really. It's how you manage your emotions and also understand the emotions of other people. So I think that is one tool is understanding emotional intelligence and maybe working on yours through an assessment and strengthening those competencies.
Yeah, for sure. And then, of course, finding a good coach.
Yeah. Yeah, I know
Finding a good
too.
coach.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. Kelly Michelle coaching, leading people LLC. I think
We'll,
finding a good
we'll be
coach,
your
but
tools.
we can be tools. But no, in all seriousness, though, having a good coach is helpful because they don't tell you what to do and who you are. They help you figure that out. So
Yeah.
I think even if you don't choose us, which is helpful. And then I think one of the tools we have here is the mirror question.
Oh, yeah.
What would someone who loves themselves do right now? Is the question
Oh,
is one of the mirror questions.
yeah.
Yeah. Like so when you're finding yourself falling in those negative thoughts or identity crisis or not loving yourself, what would someone who loves themselves do right now is the mirror
Hmm.
question.
Yep. Yeah. Also, identity anchors, James Clear, which we've talked about James Clear before with atomic habits and building those habits, identity based habits. So that's also how you strengthen your anchors and understand your identity is what habits do you have? So that is one, right? 3 identity statements. And
Yeah, I
then
have that in my
also,
book as well.
what's
Some
that?
of these identities the identity statements, I have that in my book as well.
Oh,
I just realized it looking at it now. I am someone who blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I like the identity anchors.
Mm-hmm. And then I think the last one, always the thought downloads.
Yeah.
That it?
That's good tools. Yeah, I think those are good tools. We don't want to overwhelm them.
So a coach, understanding emotional intelligence, learning about emotional intelligence and the different competencies and kind of where you fall so you know how to improve. The mirror question, what would somebody do who loves them what would someone who loves them love themselves do right now? And then identity statements. You can look up James Clear identity based habits and your thought downloads, which is circumstance happens. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you doing or not doing? And that's all going to lead to the results that you're getting or not getting. Did it?
Yep, that's it.
All right. Thank you all. We'll see you next time on Trail Talks. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, if today's conversation resonated with you, you don't have to walk your journey alone. I offer emotional intelligence assessments with personalized coaching, one-on-one mindset coaching, and leadership development for teams and organizations. You can explore all of that at kellymichellecoaching.com, linked in the show notes. And I'll leave you with this. Awareness is powerful, but support is transformational.